Oh, it tells me. Okay. So, all right. So today I want to talk a little bit about recruiting and kind of different techniques to do so. Um, Obviously, the main one is we have the $99 starter kit. And I know, you guys that are in here are pretty familiar with the kits and stuff like that. This is kind of a little bit more targeted to some new people, but it's still always good to refresh on things that you know. I'm constantly watching training videos of things that I already know just to kind of get a different perspective. Sometimes just different verbiage kind of lights that light bulb up in your head. Um, and so the $99 kit obviously has more business tools, a few more products, and they can order that just by going straight to the website, clicking on your join tab and sign up that way. They don't need to host a party. They don't need to do anything extra with that. The second way is hosting a party, which they can earn their kit based on their product credit sales. So the kit is a $59 value. So at $200 party, they have $20 in host credit. So right away, because you cannot put that $59 party or the $59 kit on a party that hasn't hit rewards yet. So basically it's never $59. Once you hit $200 in sales, you can take that 20 off. So it's automatically $39. So really that's the cheapest that kit can be. Don't really know why it's priced at the 59, but that's just so they can have a value on it. So the most you'll ever spend on that host exclusive kit is 39. Once you build up more host rewards. So if you hit a $400 party, you have $40 in host rewards. Now you've got a $19 kit and so forth. But once you hit that 500, because your host credit jumps up from 10% to 15%, you now have at a $500 party, you have $75 of credit. So your host can use 59 of that towards a starter kit, and then they still have a remaining $16 that they can use. So that's the second way for them to sign up. Now, a third way, and we have to be a little bit careful about how we advertise this because of compliance, is the same way as that host starter kit, but it's your personal party. You're giving away those rewards. So as a consultant, we always have our own personal parties open. Yes, we love reaping those benefits of all of the host credit and the half offs and stuff like that. But your commission checks are going to look so much better when you are starting to really build a team underneath you because you're getting those bonuses. Yes, you still, want to hustle your heart out, and because you're still going to be making more off of yourself as you're getting into those leadership skills, but or leadership ranks, but you still get higher bonuses. So your percentages are going to go up even off of your own sales, the higher in rank you go. So you want to do what you can to build your team. And to me, if that's giving away $59 of my host credit, that's fine. Especially because as you're putting more parties out and stuff like that, you start to get to the point where you're like, what do I need? Especially right now, we're getting towards the end of the catalog. I have every warmer that I want out of the catalog. So there's nothing that I'm eyeing up or thinking about. Come spring, now that's going to change. My wish list is going to build a few warmers up, and then, I'm going to work on getting those. But that to gift, to donate, whatever you want to call it, that $59 in host rewards to have somebody start up could really, I could make that $59 back if they are someone who is got the drive, got the motivation, ready to learn, eager to really kickstart their business. Now, when you're giving away a free kit, we all know there's people out there that just want free stuff. They don't want to actually work for it and whatever. So there's going to be tons of times where you're going to give this kit away and somebody's going to be to the moon excited. I am so excited to start this business. This is, that I'm going to do so much, go somewhere. They're going to get the kit and then they're going to ghost you. MIA. Or I know I'm not getting any sales. Are you posting? Well, no, but I talked to my aunt and she likes, whatever instead, you're going to have excuses. You're going to have whatever. But every time I hit a $500 party, I offer that kit. Now, obviously, a lot of times I like to have, when I cash out a party, I try to do it around a launch, because then I'm getting some of those new launch products, whether they're for me, for demo, to just promote, or whatever. I want to use those credits, like the half offs and stuff like that. So I try to put it around there. So if I'm coming up to, or I have a $500 party ready to gift that host kit to, but there's a launch in 2 days, I'm going to post something on my Facebook, trying to gain that interest, trying to have those host conversations with people. And if they don't take it by the time I want to cash that out, then I'm just going to cash it out and I'm going to use the credit for myself. And then boom, on to the next time I get one, I'm going to post it up. I'm sure you guys have seen me on my page of posting different kind of, I don't know, lack of better, of trolling posts like, hey, who's interested? Who could benefit from this opportunity? I think the last time I did it, and actually the girl I just signed up, I had posted something, who, I want to gift somebody a business for Christmas. Who is interested? And if you're not interested, tag a friend that you think might be. And actually the girl I just signed up, she is a friend of a friend. Her friend tagged her in it and she's like, yes, I want to do this. So we're going to see, I'm just kind of getting her kickstarted. So we'll see where she goes with it. And I hope she does really good. But that was something that wasn't even on my friends list. That was somebody that I didn't even have any contact with beforehand, because of kind of how I worded it. Like, tag somebody who you think might benefit. That doesn't mean they're going to. I was lucky that the first person that got tagged was like, sign me up. Let's do this. I'm interested. But I always make those posts. Now, if you haven't hit 500 yet, and this is your personal party and you want to advertise this, and I think actually I discussed with you, Daisy, about this prior when you asked about how do you post this. Say you have a kit and it's going to be $19. It's technically out of compliance to offer a disc without them hosting. You can't just, here you go, kind of like I do. Offer a discounted kit or the free kit. You need to make it worded in a way to where it's like you're going to talk to them about the opportunity of hosting, if that makes sense. So like when I say like, oh, it's a free kit, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm just going to give it to you. I could be then going in my DM saying, host a party, we can earn it free. Even though I am just going to give it to them because I have those, ready. You can't say like, when it comes down, and the free kit obviously is easier to kind of say, because by saying I have a free kit, that could either mean I have a free kit or I have an opportunity for you to get a free kit by hosting a party. So that one's not as wishy-washy. But when you come down to now, say I have not hit $500 in rewards yet, and I can give somebody a kit for $19. I cannot post, hey, I have a starter kit for $19. Now I could say I have a discounted starter kit, because now again, I could be talking to them about hosting to get that kit. So again, it's really all about verbiage and how you do it. And I just like to post things that are not even necessarily like, hey, I have this kit, la, 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 la. Like I said, I want it for Christmas. I want to gift somebody the opportunity of a business. What you do with it is what you do with it. So like constantly, anytime you have the opportunity, post about it, put it in your stories and stuff like that. Now, also, a lot of people will do that and be like, hey, nobody's biting on this. Like, I don't know what to do. Nobody's commenting. Are you sharing your story? Are you like, do they know you just sell Scentsy, or do they see a little bit of the ins and outs? Give them some background. Like, what do you do? Not just what do you sell? What do you have? What do you do? When you're putting together mailers, snap some pictures, take a TikTok, take, a quick like boomerang of something like, hey, I'm sending out happy mail. Making samples. This is my favorite thing about this. This business is I get to sample all these scents and send them to my favorite people, or, stuff like that. Aside from like what you're doing now as your business, what has it done for you? Are you sharing that? Something stupid like, you know what, with Christmas, I have no idea how the heck I was going to pay my electric bill. And then my commission hit and I was like, oh my goodness, that can take care of this, like share that. Friendships that we've made, along the way, things that you didn't expect. If you guys saw recently, like I posted a couple like Christmas present from a big customer that got me a $25, I mean, it wasn't much, $25 Starbucks gift card and a cute little card. I don't know her from anywhere from Scentsy. She was literally a random order. I thought it was fake. It was a $200 order. She didn't bundle anything. It was just all bars. And I was like, and this is when I first started. This was like maybe 2 months in, and I'm like hearing about those scam posts, you know, where people will send you that weird email and a whole list of things that they want and stuff like that. But this one actually came through, and it came as like Scentsy.com. So it wasn't using one of my links or anything like that. And that was the first Scentsy.com order I got as well. So I'm like looking at this like, is this fake? Like, is this real? I was like, how did she find me? What is this? So I emailed her and I was like, hey, you know, and I had a pretty good excerpt about like, you know, introducing myself, whatever. And I was just like, you know, just curious, how did you come across my page? And she's like, oh, I just typed in my zip code and you popped up and, you know, da, da, da. I never knew you could just order Scentsy like that. She goes, I haven't had it in like 3 years because I didn't know anybody having parties. And I taught her about bundling and stuff like that. And I ended up giving her a bunch of free bars. So it was like 3 or 4 bars free to kind of make up for what she lost on that. Just because it was such a big order, I felt bad. And I was like, hopefully she'll come back. And she did. And now every time I send her Happy Mail, I have to send like little stupid things for her boys. They love like Pez dispensers. So every holiday, I'll get them like a holiday Pez dispenser. For Christmas, I snagged on the Christmas sale, the Bitty Buddy snowmen. So I'm going to send her boys those for Christmas. And like, I always like at Christmas time, I take care of her husband, I take care of her dog, you know, simple little things, and I'll wrap up and I'll send it because of how much like she spends. But now, as you see, we've built a friendship just through Scentsy, like to the point of she even sent me a Christmas card. Like that baffles my mind. Like, honestly, prior to Scentsy, I was not a person that people sent Christmas cards to. Like, I didn't think I made that much of a difference in people's lives to whether they think of me at Christmas. So for somebody who I mean, I don't want to say I don't know her personally because I guess I've kind of grown to, but we've never hung out. I've stopped at her house dropping off stuff and chit chatted a little bit. We keep talking about going out and getting a drink and hanging out. But when she first ordered, I was still living down in Illinois in the suburbs. And that's where she is. So now that I'm up here in Wisconsin, it's even harder for us to get together. But I had to yell at her over the summer. She actually vacationed in Fort, which is 20 minutes from my house. And I'm like, you didn't even tell me. I'm like, we've been saying we're going to get a drink. I could have met you at the campground, you know, so one of these days it'll happen. But even just through a message, like there's sometimes we'll text back and forth and not even talk Scentsy. And we've built that relationship. So, you know, me showing that, even if it is just, you know, a simple Christmas card expert, you're showing what this company has brought you. Maybe, you know, a lot of people might not look at that and think that's a big deal, but somebody who's looking for that community, that might be something that just triggers them to like, oh my goodness, that is so cute. I want to be a part of something more. So like, you might think it's small and stupid, but to somebody else, it might not be. So back to the whole share your story, share what this has brought you. You know, I tell people all the time, when I started, I did not think this was going to work. I did not think I would ever have a single person underneath me. I never thought I would make anything other than a discount for myself. And it's changed into so much more. And it went from building a business to, it's really changed who I am as a person. Like I was not a person you would have 2 years ago, you wanted me to lead a Zoom meeting like this. I'd be like, you're crazy. Get out of here. I don't talk to people. I don't do that. I am so introvert. I'm an introvert extrovert, if that makes sense. Like I've always been a talker if I know you. But if I don't know you, I'm like, hide me, please. I don't want to go in public. I don't want to, nope. So it's brought that out in me. And obviously being online and stuff like that, it's a lot more open and easier than in person. I think if somebody were to ever ask me to speak at, I see a lot of like superstar directors right now saying that they were asked to speak at World Tour and stuff. And I'm like, please don't ever email me that. Even though I feel like at that point, if I got that far, I feel like I couldn't say no. because of the opportunity. I think I would have to force myself, but I would probably be like seasick afterwards. Like I don't know. I guess we'll cross that bridge when it gets there. But just the small things like that, that it is brought to you, that it has, changed in your life. You sharing this is going to inspire others to either want to join or be curious enough to start asking questions. And, sometimes people, they're not going to just jump on right away and join. Sometimes they might have some questions and need to think about it. I've had some people sit there and say, the time's not right. The time's not right. That doesn't mean no, though, because I've also had somebody that's on our team that has said no to me several times. And finally, when I was like, girl, I have a free kit, like, you're about to do a big order anyway, just sign on. And she did. So, like things like it, sometimes it's just timing for people. Another really good little trick, I personally haven't, well, I did use it once, but they totally turned the concept down. So I need to get into it more, but I need to crunch a little bit of numbers to do so. But I saw this in a different leader training. Your big customers, your biggest customers, even though, yes, sometimes it feels like you're like, oh man, they're the reason I'm active every month. I don't want to sign them on because then I'm not going to be. Don't think like that, because they might bring more to the table than you think. What these leaders were saying is take those customers, figure out how much they spent. Okay, figure out how much they spent for a year, 6 months, 3 months, whatever. How much would they have made if they signed on? If you tell them that number, some of them will like, what? And that might be a thing. And like, there's so many people, even on this team, so many other teams that are literally just in it for some kickback because they're already a huge Scentsy addict, a huge Scentsy shopper. And that's fine. Yes, if they're just shopping themselves, they might not hit those, first things first, that sensational start, with the enhancement kit. They might not hit their level 1, 2, and 3. But that doesn't mean if all of a sudden something twists in their life a year down the road, they don't kick it into high gear. They might. There are so many people that start this just for that discount, and it becomes so much more. Like I said, I mean, I can't say that I started it for the discount. I started it thinking that's all it was going to be. I wanted more out of it because it was a pandemic. I had gotten laid off and I was like, Lord help me. I hope this works. But if it doesn't, my backup plan is I get money back. And I took a nosedive head first into everything I could do. I was YouTubing like crazy. I was, following people on Facebook that if you had Scentsy in your profile, I was like, all right, I'm following them. All right, I'm following them. They might suck, but I'm following them. I'm getting ideas. I'm from everybody, from every different angle. And it's so crazy because of how many leaders I follow. Everybody runs their business different. And I love it. So like kind of how I became is a little bit of this person, a little bit of that person, and you kind of like borrow those ideas. But again, just sharing your opportunity, maybe let them know, like I said, how much they could have earned if they were, had signed on. So usually what I like to do, rule of thumb, if they, well, I shouldn't even say I like to do, like I did it once. And I knew there was actually a person, and she's a big shopper with me, but she's an older lady. So I have to teach her how to use her phone sometimes. I actually manage her Scentsy club because she signed up for it. She's like, I can't figure it out. I think I made 2. So I told her, I was like, we're going to cancel them. I'm like, or we're going to cancel the one. I'm like, give me your login. I will manage it. If you need to switch anything, change anything, I will do it, because she's so not savvy. But I gave her how much she spent. And now, mind you, this lady, I mean, even though she's not savvy, she has signed up with other companies like this before. She actually used to sell Mary Kay. Most of it was just because she bought it all for her family. And it was, again, that whole, she just did it for a discount. So that's what I kind of figured. Like, she spent so much, like, you're going to be active every month. Like, her monthly order is a $200 order. It started with a little over 100. And then finally she's like, how much do I need to spend to get free shipping? And I was like, 200. And she's like, all right, we're going to bump up the monthly order. And I'm like, why don't you just sign on? Like, I mean, you can give me all your money you want, but girl, like, you could be saving so much. And I gave her a number. I think it was like $600 some she would have earned in the past like 3 months. And I was like, why don't you do this? Yeah, she thought about it for a solid second. Like, I'm going to touch base with her because I'm not taking that as a no. I'm still going to touch base with her. If I have to help her run the workstation, probably not that dramatic, but either which way, I'll get her tech savvy on that. But if it's under like $1,000 in whatever period you're calculating, figure out 20% and let them know that would have been their commissions. If it's over 1,000, figure it right out at 25%. Like, don't try to be like, oh, if they promote it halfway, don't do all that math for yourself. Just, if it's over 1,000, 25%. If it's under 1,000, 20%, and be like, this is what you could have made. And it's crazy, and how people, when they know that, like, because they're not realizing it. They don't, especially if it's overtime, they're not realizing how much they're spending necessarily. So they're definitely not thinking about how much you're making off of them. I did see another leader when she does Happy Mail, and I there's so many things that I need to make and I want to create, and I just have a whole list. So I'm not even going to say that I'm going to make it because I might not ever get to it, but one of you guys might implement this. Instead of sending out, let me see if I even have one. I don't. So I send out, okay, so this is like just a join host flyer. I made ones that were a little bit more personable, with an actual about me side, tells, about Dean, my dogs, my kid, like how I got started, all of these things. And I send that out for like join information. But what this leader did is she actually made these cute little cards saying how much she made off of that order. So Susie orders from me. I'm going to send her this thing saying, thanks, Susie. I appreciate your order, whatever excerpt it said on there, cute little thank you. You could have, if you would have signed, or if you would sign on with me, or I don't remember exactly the verbiage, but basically you would have made $20 on this order. You would have made $40 on this order, whatever it is. And sometimes, especially when they're bigger orders, like that doesn't click in people's head until it's brought to their attention. So then from there, then you can kind of bring into that joint opportunity. And then back to the whole giving them the free kit. If they're on the fence after talking about that like that, okay, a couple weeks later, you get a free kit. Hey, Susie, I know you were on the fence, but let me tell you this. I have a completely risk-free, it is a free kit that I want to gift to you so you can try this. And I tell people all the time, the only fees that we have, because that's another big question, is what are the monthly fees? I say there is a $10 website fee, but you get your website free for the first 3 months. And if it doesn't pay for itself, and that's how I word it all the time, if it doesn't pay for itself by then, I will teach you how to cancel it, or I will show you how to cancel it. Because straight up, if you are not making $10 a month with Scentsy, you shouldn't have a website. We can still work for, and I told me to like that, so I could laugh. But you shouldn't go into debt trying to keep this up. Because at that point, you're just a savvy shopper, and you can shop your own stuff from the workstation. The only thing that you cannot do from the workstation is a Scentsy Club and pre-orders. A lot of people, and I've seen, and I'm going to correct this right now, I see a lot of people in some of the consultant groups talk about if you don't have a website, you can't do flash sales. I order flash sales on Workstation all the time. I got 2 tabs. I got my website open on one. So if I don't have an active website, I can open Joe Schmo's website to look at it. And then I find out what I want, and then I type it in on the Workstation. So you kind of work around it a little bit without that website. But the only thing that you would not be able to do is a pre-order or a Scentsy Club. Yes, you can now attach your Scentsy Club on the Workstation, but I don't think you can like create it or anything like that through the Workstation. Mine was already created, so I don't really know. That's all new. And I'm not canceling mine to try and find out, otherwise I'm gonna lose way too much. 2 full clubs full of discontinued bars. I'm not going anywhere with those. I need to revamp them because it's getting out of hand, but it's so hard to pick what I want, what I don't want. Okay, but so that's another kind of tool to use to kind of get in those conversations and to have those opportunities. And like I said, just because they say no at first does not always mean, I mean, unless they're like, absolutely not, okay, that might be a no. That might be a no. But if they're like, I don't have time for that. I don't, have the motivation for that. When they realize like, yes, you have to put in work to do this. But honestly, I feel like I work more than I worked when I had a job, but I enjoy it because I'm doing fun stuff. Like, yes, there's still some like clerical things that it's like, oh my God, I don't want to do it today. But 90% of the time, I'm having fun. Like, even if I'm cutting up samples, like I'm enjoying the smell, and like it's a whole different ballgame. Like, I don't feel like I'm working. And like I tell people all the time, like, love what you do and you're not going to work a day in your life. Daisy, you were raising your hand. What's up?
Yeah, so I just, with Lorraine, the one I just recruited, I was just kind of whispering in her ear back and forth a lot of stuff because she had hosted a party originally and she wanted to, she was kind of on the edge, but then in the end she ended up choosing her rewards because she just wanted to try some of the products herself. She's like, I'll just turn in my rewards. I want, the little gingerbread warmer you had and some waxes. I kept whispering in her ear. And then when I did have the kit go super discount, she liked my post. And then I was like, oh, right back into her DM. I was like, hey, did you want to take a go at this again? And just kind of kept whispering, and hitting base with her on a lot of different stuff. And so she took the leap. And I'm really hoping it'll help her too, because she has a little son. She works morning hours, but I told her, I was like, it's flexible with you. You can work nighttime on it. Like, it's okay. I told her the videos for setting up her website, she's going to start them tonight and tomorrow. I was like, that's okay. Start them whenever you're able to. Do it while you're cleaning. Let them play.
Yep, absolutely. So. Absolutely. And that's what's amazing is it really, you could work this third shift if you really wanted, because especially with like our VIPs being a group, you can schedule. So that feature is just a godsend to me because I would probably be posting half as much as I do. And sometimes I get in bouts where I forget to schedule. So then it's like, I'm like struggling, like, here's a couple things for today. I don't really know what I'm doing, but here you go. See, there's something up and on my page, but I try to have those scheduled out. And it's nice because it could be like 10 o'clock at night and I can think of a post or think of something that I want to do. And I'm not going to post at 10 o'clock at night because I don't know how Facebook's algorithm works, but I feel like sometimes the late that I post, it never gets seen. So it might end up in a few news feeds at night, but then the next day it's
after like 9 o'clock. Don't post after 9. It's just like a waste of time.
Right, because by morning, it's not even going to be, it might have a couple people's feeds if people comment and like on it. If they don't, it's like into the Facebook abyss.
Yeah, you have 15 minutes whether your post is going to make it or fucking break it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if one person sees it and they say something, it'll show like 3 or more people. If like one of them, like, you know what I mean? It depends how much engagement it gets is how much like engagements it's going to give you. It's so weird, but...
Algorithm is a math we will never figure out. That is worse than Common Core.
fuck that shit.
Maybe they'll teach Annika that in school and she can do my algorithm. And they say there is, I haven't really dabbled in it too much, but as far as like posting and stuff like that, there is like everybody, now there's not a hot time. I'm not going to be able to tell you like 4:00 post every day, because everybody's different based on your friends and your followers and stuff like that. But they say if you look at like your analytics, when you get the most views, post about 30 minutes before your peak. Because then all of those, that's your best bet. And it also is going to vary. Is it a Monday? Is it a Wednesday? Is it a Saturday? You know, all of that's going to vary. So that's why there's really, it's a math I don't want to even try to learn. And it's ever changing.
Like if you keep them 2 hours apart too, that really helps.
Yeah.
For boosting them.
But, and it's the same thing like with your join opportunities, you know, if you're planning on making that post up like that, I suggest, you know, post it early in the day, not super early, but post it earlier in the day, maybe a little before lunchtime or whatever. So you're kind of hitting a few more. I noticed I haven't really checked the analytics on actually those specific posts, but I noticed the few times that I have posted kits up, which like I said, a lot of time I like to cash them out with like new launches and stuff like that. So a lot of time it's Monday, I want to cash them out. A lot of times my weekend ones get more reaction than if it's like, I'm trying to close this party for like a Thursday relaunch or something like that, or a restock, and I need some things, but I want to use my host rewards on it. I notice then when I'm posting like Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't get as much interaction on them. And don't get me wrong, I've had people comment on those and then never take the kits either. They've asked a million questions and whatever, but their name is down. I have a list and I will touch base with them later on. Another really good thing, and I think I've mentioned this before, if you do any forms, whether it be doc, what's up, Joe?
Well, I was going to say how, like if someone, so my post the other day about what you could do with the extra $100 and my friend that I talked to you about, how far or how long should I wait before following up with her? Because I sent her all the information, but I haven't heard from her. It's been like 2 days. I don't want to like follow up too soon, but I don't want to like miss it out if she really wants to.
Usually, so you have a kit that you're trying to give out right now?
No, I don't have. I don't have a kit right now.
You're just trying to talk about the joint opportunity.
About hey, what could you do with the extra $100? Because that is how it happened to get in commissions this month or whatever. And so I was like, I bought dog presents. So
right. And then I saw your post like that.
Yeah.
So I would probably, if it's been about 2 days, I would probably touch base with her. I would say that's probably about as far out as I would go, is I would say about a 2-day mark if you're just talking about the joint opportunity, because obviously in that aspect now you're going to have to talk to her about, does she want the $99 kit or does she want to try to earn a kit? Since you don't have one to actually gift to her. So sometimes I give her, because I'm sure you spammed her with that information of the 2 different choices like that. So I'll give her some time to think over it. So I'd say about 2 days. Now, if you have a kit and you're giving it, and I don't hear, I will touch base the next day, and then I will start to let them know, you know, this is time sensitive. It is attached to a party. I'll teach you how to give one away in the future when you join, but this particular kit is time sensitive. So you need to let me know if you want it. Otherwise, I will bless somebody else with it. And then I can just touch base with you, you know, next time I get a free kit or whatever. Again, based because I want to close that party out. I don't want that to sit too long. Occasionally, if like actually last month, I had quite a lot of kind of collect all orders because of all the launches and everything else going on. I was actually able to hold a kit or like hold a party aside and like, if I don't know if that makes sense. I had two. So I was able to close one out and kind of keep one just in case. So, which I ended up giving it away. Which is awesome, but typically I wouldn't always have one on hand. Like right now I don't have, I think my personal party is at like $80 right now because I just closed out my last one, you know. So, and then of course, somebody who I had talked about that didn't message me. And I touched base with her, you know, the next day, day 2, she was like not messaging me back. So I was like, okay, obviously she's not interested. And I let it go. And I was like, all right. I was like, you know, I do have to close this party out. So just, you know, let me know if you ever change your mind or whatever, whatnot. And then of course, a day after, I gifted it to somebody else, closed the party out. She messaged me finally with her email, because I had said, you know, I need your email to be able to sign you up, da, 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 da. And she messaged me, she goes, oh, sorry. She's like, I'm dealing with a sick household right now. You know, here's my email. And I was like, I am so sorry, girl. I was like, but just let you know, I'm like, the free kits, they are kind of time sensitive depending on what's going on. I'm like, and I did end up giving that one to the next person. I said, but you are now top on my list when I get another kit for free. Because again, a lot of people, not even just Scentsy, with a lot of network marketing companies, one, either people have been burned by a company before, so they're skittish, you know, and I right with you. Miko, she's queen of freaking MLMs here. She's joined like everything under the sun. You know, she understands, and she's been successful at some, and then it's fizzled out, and she's been successful at some, and it's plateaued, you know, and she's been not so successful at some. Like she's got probably out of all of us the most experience with just different companies and learning different policies. And, you know, and sometimes she'll find out a company's total crap and be like, all right, I'm done here. But, you know, so people have been burned, so they're skittish. Sometimes people have never done it and they're like, I am not a salesperson. Neither am I. I share what I love. You know, I mean, but I could also say, like I said before, back to 2 years ago, somebody said something, I could be like, I am not a leader. Well, here I am. Like, we all surprise ourselves sometimes. You know, so there's so many reasons that people hesitate. And you just got to find that reason why they want to be able to jump. So giving that kit sometimes might be that thing to make or break, because it's risk-free. And I tell people all the time, like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Like, I'm not going to hound you. Like, same thing with, I mean, that's with anybody that signs up. Because like I said, I've had people sign up, they've taken a free kit, and then I barely hear from them. Okay, I am not going to jump in your inbox every day and check on you and see what you're doing and ask you if you need help. You know, I'm going to put my energy towards the people messaging me, asking questions, to the people, you know, active on the team page, to the people that are reaching out for that help, to the people I see already, you know, are trying something with their business, because they're the ones that need the direction sometimes. Not saying that like you guys don't know what you're doing, like that, I guess that's not what I mean by like direction, but even me, like I still need direction sometimes. Like I'm still learning every day. It's just, as a leader, and you guys will notice this as you start to become leaders, don't waste your energy on people that don't really want the help. So, I mean, same thing with giving away the kit, you know, if when you touch base with her, you know, and she's still kind of wishy-washy, then maybe just give it a little bit. Maybe a month down the road, she'll be like, hey, you know, that free kit you offered me, man, I should have taken it. And you can be like, all right, well, I'll write you on the list. Next time, you know, I get one, I'll give it to you. Or why don't we host a party? You know, and actually another little fun fact, actually, if they're hosting a party to get a kit, you will notice that there is a flip PRV button there. So if you select to flip PRV, and this is your personal choice, and it can benefit you, and it can like to keep the PRV, and it can benefit you though to give the PRV. So it's kind of depends on where you're at in the month and whatever, if you want to offer that. Obviously, if they physically host a party, like morally, like me at least, I'm like, man, I feel like you earned it. You know, you did all this work or whatever. Have I signed people on and I have kept the, like the PRV? Yes, I have. But so when you flip it, that PRV, the only PRV that's flipped is the PRV that is orders entered into the physical workstation. So any website orders on their party, that if you want to flip that to them, that you would have to call into Scentsy support. And the email that you have for them as host has to be the same email they signed up with Scentsy with. And as long as those match, they can flip those over. I think as long as it's within the month. So say you had all the sales in December, well, you're going to get paid on that PRV. So November 3rd, or December, January 3rd, you can't flip all of that to her, to her or to him. But now, why would that benefit you to give it to them? Well, you have an instant active consultant now, so if you're close to reaching a goal and you need somebody active underneath you, or you're close to a promotion, bam, you have that now. If, and now depending on what their sales are, they might already be almost a shooting star kit. They might already, be super close to that or hit it. You can help give them that boost, and not just a boost in their business, but a boost in confidence to really then be like, oh, this is possible. Let's start digging, I didn't even realize there's a chat going on here. My chat wasn't up. Yeah, like, see, but I don't see it as like, I'm not super pushy, but I see, like, you're talking like people that already signed up, and like, yeah, if they don't want to work it, they don't want to work it. It's no skin off my back, because we're all independent consultants. Independent, meaning we do this independently. Like, you are responsible for your business. You and your efforts reflect your paychecks. Okay. Your upline, your sponsor, your director, your superstar director, all of this, they don't make your business. Can they aid in your business by coaching and helping and kind of giving you that direction, sometimes second opinion? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you and your efforts. So if you are signing up and yes, I tell them, I will hold your hand in the beginning. Like, I kind of mean I'm gonna hold your hand, but I'm not going to physically hold your hand. You need to do the work. You need to,
Also, I have the 2 downline. The one isn't my newbie. And I'm messaging her a lot, just trying to make sure she's getting her website up, just trying to make sure she's kind of giving herself that chance to start. But now I'm like, maybe I'm being too pushy. But then I have my other one who's already flaked. And I mean, it's my brother, but he's joining with me because we combined our customers because he was getting some, but he just gets so lost. And I was like, okay, no, we're going to make it a family thing. But then, like, now that I have another one she's the wife of a friend from high school. So I'm like, I don't know where to feel like I'm crossing boundaries too much now.
Is she responding to you?
Yeah.
Is she trying to like do what you're telling her to do and actually implement these things?
She's making it seem like now she's too busy for it, but she will. So I'm worried.
And that's up to
her. But I want to make
her.
it seem like I'm still here to help her too, even though I'm still learning myself.
Yep.
Because I've had 2 messages this week from me being OOC, and I'm like, oops.
Hey, compliance is a crazy thing. Compliance is, it really is. I just try, I don't put prices on anything anymore. And I don't like to, I mean, I advertise obviously Disney stuff, but I try to keep it really short and sweet. And I'd rather not, but the thing is too, I've seen leaders higher up the knee, like superstar directors and stuff, where they've posted things and I'm like, I think that's OOC, like, but I'm not going to be the one to be like, hey, to each your own, that's your business, none of my business. But now, are there people out there that'll like report without even knowing you? Absolutely. Like,
I see it all over Facebook and with all these different vendor fairs and stuff too. And I'm just like, they're trying to get a hold of the game. I'm like, sure, that's a way to do it, but at some point they're going to get caught. But I'm not going to say it. I'm just like, they're going to work their business how they're going to, and I'm going to figure out a way for me.
And that's kind of how I see it. You know what? If you're being out of compliance, that's your prerogative. It doesn't affect my business, so I don't care. Like, if somebody rats you out and you get in trouble, you get in trouble. If you don't and you get away with it, to each your own. Is it fair? Do I wish I could do that? yeah, but my luck, I'd be like instant. So I'm just gonna not. It's hard to keep in touch with others. Yep, exactly. And Brianna, and that's the great thing is you can do all of this on your time. And I think before you jumped in, we were chatting about that. It can definitely be a third shift thing. And if reading's easier for you, or like, watching videos and stuff like that, by all means, if you have the night owl,
all kinds of stuff.
I don't know. Daisy, you said your new recruit, you sent her how to set up the party. Did you send her my training videos?
I don't remember. I know I was tagging her in a bunch of stuff and adding her to groups and stuff. So we talked a little bit here and there. She was working on what was the basic setup.
Working on, I think I just posted 2 up today on my YouTube. I have, I think, up to 7 videos now of a new consultant training series. I've kind of got a template down. I think it was like 12 or 14. When it's done, it'll be. But I want to, and I have it all in as a playlist on my YouTube. So even you guys, as you get new recruits, you can send these to them. And what this all does is the first one's like a welcome email. The second one talks about like what to do before your kid arrives, like do the first things first checklist, kind of walk people through the basics, because sometimes if you're just trying to always do this one-on-one, sometimes you might forget
about stuff.
Yeah. Oh crap! Did I invite you to the team page? And we're 5 days in. Something like that. So it kind of keeps things into a good step by step. I'm also working on incorporating like a Google site with that as well. That's kind of, I put a little bit in the back burner because I want to put some of those videos that I'm making within it. So I just kind of put that on the back burner. I'm gonna finish up these videos and then have that. So then you guys will all be able to send them our team website. And
yeah, I know I'm currently looking at videos through Workstation that I just found that I didn't find the first time, but I found this time for me trying to become a stronger sponsor. And I'm actually finding some things that I could pull in for myself as well. So yeah, I just found those.
It's amazing. Yeah, definitely. I tell people all the time, knowledge is power, and the more knowledgeable you are as a consultant, the more successful you're going to be. And it's amazing because Scentsy itself gives us so many tools. Like if you go to the training section on the Workstation, they have different sections of topics of what you want to learn about, or you can just utilize by putting in a couple keywords in the search bar to find out what you want. If you still can't, seriously, YouTube is the best. Scentsy, blah, 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 whatever you're looking for. There are so many leaders out there, and that's another thing that is amazing.
Even though YouTube was a thing until your Scentsy elf.
My boyfriend said that video was cringeworthy. I was like, shut up, I loved it. You're cringeworthy for saying it. But that's the thing is Scentsy is a community, and that's another thing is I've been with other, like I said, other companies, and I never felt as close to as many strangers. I know it sounds weird to say it like that, but as I do in Scentsy, watching YouTube, I have so many star directors and superstar directors that I follow, and a few of them, after me kind of communicating and asking questions and realizing they actually respond. Here I'm watching them like they're gods, and I'm and then they answered me. Oh my God, they actually helped me or sent me whatever they're talking about, or whatever whatnot. And I've actually became friends with a few of them. But there's so many great trainings on there because Scentsy really is a community about giving more than you take. So there's so many leaders out there that want to share what works for them, and not just, to their team. They put it, and then that's why I put the training, the training series that I created. Yes, in the beginning it says, welcome to Tribe Luminescent, this is our family of teams, blah, 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 blah. But that doesn't mean somebody from another team can't watch these and benefit from them. Just
you pick ideas wherever they grow.
Exactly.
Seeds to help grow you.
Absolutely. I mean, because I can't even take credit for the entire training series. I actually borrowed the concept from Johanna Luna. I know you guys hear me say her name all the time.
I follow her.
Dean always goes
amazing
around and says that I'm going to leave him for Johanna. And I was like, no, she's married. I was and she's got 2 boys. I was I don't think that's going to happen. Sorry. But she's one of them that has really become a friend because I've watched her and I've followed her, and I never thought she'd respond, but I don't remember what the first thing I asked her was, and she responded within like an hour, and I'm like, oh, there's a real human back there. Like, you're actually a genuinely nice person. But here, watching her videos, in my mind, I was just putting her on this pedestal, and I was like, she is just the same as you and me. So it's just incredible. And like the friendship that now me and her have is amazing, to the point where there's a couple girls on her team that I'm good friends with too. And towards the end of the month, if I'm getting close to goals or numbers, they'll message me because they can't see, because I'm not on their team, so they don't see me on their workstation. But they'll be, where are you at? Where are you at? What's your numbers? How close are we? And I'm like, I like how you say we, like I'm part of your team. But I love it because, again, this community is just so different. But I know we got a little sidetracked about the whole recruiting, but I know I kind of touched base on everything that I wanted to about that. Just remember, like when you're saying things, stay in compliance. Don't put prices on it. Free is always easy to go and advertise. Otherwise, just use the word discount.
So what I did the other day was okay, where I had like one opportunity, the great Christmas price, but it's risk free. Like that was all okay because I didn't say any prices.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just like, yes, no, yes, and then delete. Nah, I delete. Yep. I was not sure how to word it.
Another trick that I like to do instead of just posting is put in your stories. They got that little poll button. I think, Jelena, I think that's where you kind of got that idea of what would you do with that, because I had in my story, I took a picture of my car and I was pumping gas. And I said, what would you do? Or like, what would you benefit from? A free tank of gas a month or free gas all month? Because with Scentsy, both of them are possible. And that's the thing too. And I think I've touched base another training with us about nobody's in here. Yes, do we all eventually want to be enough money to where we're not struggling or we're not hurting? Absolutely. Is that going to happen overnight? Is that going to happen in the first month? Absolutely not. You need to work. You need to put in those efforts. You need to build up to that. So some people just start off because, a lot of people start a side hustle because they have a full-time job. And it's not necessarily cutting it, but an extra $50 to $100 a month, that's a difference. That's a difference. Whether that is you have a Scentsy addiction, like most of us do, and now you don't have to pay for it anymore because it pays for itself, or, you can put that towards things that you need. Like if you're short on bills, if, Christmas presents for your dogs, whatever. Sometimes that $50 to $100 mark is a sweet spot for people. If you sit there and tell people all the time, like, how much would you benefit for an extra $2,000 a month? They're gonna make, I ain't gonna make that. And they're gonna steer away and they're gonna be like, no, this, just because she makes it, I'll never make that. Okay. Have my last couple of checks been $2,000? Yeah, they have. I'm not gonna lie. Do I go posting that, Scentsy will make you $2,000 a month? No, because that's going to steer people away. Because did I make $2,000 in the beginning? No. My first check, and I'm blessed. Every month, I'm going to knock on wood before I ruin that. Every month I have been able to hit the monthly sales bonus. So every month, that was been my goal from the start, is 2,000, because I want that extra 5%. I don't want to leave money on the table. And that's always what I've strived for. Definitely gets easier now as obviously I've met more people. I have more people in my VIP, all those things. And that's not for everybody though. So like my smallest check though, my first month, it was like 6 something. I thought that was like amazeballs. I was like, oh my goodness. I didn't have a job. So 600 was like gone instantly. But it helped. Like, what would I have done without that? So
my check was only 120, but it paid for my St. Louis half.
Yep, exactly. So, little things like that to post about and to share. Just remember, anytime you're talking about money, earning money, or earning like awards, incentives, stuff like that, free trips, like my Scentsy shoes, all that, you have to include the income disclosure statement, whether that's the picture of it or the link. I've probably have it saved in my camera roll about 30 times because I don't like scrolling back looking for it. So quick tip to the trade, or trick to the trade, is I just on Google, you can type Scentsy income disclosure and you can find the picture or just swoop the URL and paste it. So if you're ever like in a GIF and you don't want to scroll and look for it, Google. It is amazing. Just like I tell you guys, like even like real life images, if you don't want to spend the time to search groups, you can.
So you would need that link or something, like if you're posting a picture, what if you're doing it in like an Insta story? How would you, because that just kind of disappears.
So I post the picture.
Is okay.
Yep. You can also now with Insta, you don't need 10,000 followers to add a link now. So you can actually add that as a link as well. It's like in the
bio
the
description.
sticker buttons where you would do like the poll, the questions, all of that. You can add a link and you can just type in the disclosure link there and it'll be linked. Or like I said, I just put like a picture in the corner. Can you read it? No. So I don't really know why we're putting it there, but legally with, I was gonna say the FDA. It's definitely not the FDA. People that deal with like the IRS and stuff like that with multi-level marketing companies, because results are not typical. Not everyone is going to succeed. This is not a regular paycheck. You do not get paid by the hour. We have to include that legally. Like that's not even Scentsy's rules. That's actual legal rules. Scentsy themselves, if we're all posting our income without that income disclosure statement, it's not us that's
federal stuff.
It's
Yeah.
Scentsy. And then there's companies that get shut down because they're like teaching their people like how to post and it's not legal. So that's kind of why we do that, just to save Scentsy's butt, because God knows I'm gonna cry if Scentsy goes anywhere. So don't get them in trouble. I'm gonna kick your butt. But all right, so it's pretty much all I'm going to talk about. I know a couple people kind of just jumped on. This is recorded, so I will be posting this. I'm going to see if I can post an hour-long video on Facebook. I don't think I can, so I'm probably going to have to upload this to my YouTube and then share it that way. But that way everybody can kind of benefit and see this that aren't here. And then hopefully maybe we can actually have a nice, really big turnout one of these days on here, because I would love to see my screen full of faces. So any questions from anybody about anything kind of we discussed before I let y'all go for the night?
So I have one question. I don't know if you talked about it before I hopped on. I was having troubles. For some reason, Zoom would not log on. But if it's a returning consultant, they have to wait 6 months, right? And I've been hearing, I think it's 6 months, but I've been hearing too that they start for free. How does that work if they're returning?
Okay. So I believe, yes, they do start for free. I think that they have to, I don't think, well, I'm going to pop up my website really quick just to double check. I don't think you can do it on the website. I believe you have to have them call into support. And then they can say who they want as a consultant. I don't know if they need your consultant number, so it's probably not a bad idea to give them your name, you know, your first and last name and your consultant number. But I'm gonna double check, but I don't think they can do it on order my kit, join now. No, okay, so if you go online, that is just for a regular kit. So yeah, they have to call into support for that. If you even wanted, you can probably even 3-way support for that. And it is free to come back. And if they want, they can purchase a reinstatement kit, which is identical. It's at least since I've joined, it's always been identical to that host exclusive kit. So it's not like the big $99 kit, but it's the host exclusive kit. So it's $59. They can't get it discounted or anything like that, but they don't have to have that kit. So they can just sign up and go right back into it. And their lifetime PRV will still be there. There is one girl on our team that reinstated. Her join date still says 2014. And it has her lifetime PRV that she had even prior to leaving. And I do believe it is, I think you're right on that. I think it's 6 months and then they can come back. But yeah. So then, yeah. And then I think the kits, I think that's something after they join too. I think that they have to call support for it. If it is not on their home screen on the dashboard, yeah, I would definitely contact support for it. And I think, I don't want to say that they hold their title because they don't hold their title. So if like you're a lead or above or whatever, you're going to lose any of your downline when you go inactive. Actually, you lose your downline before you even go inactive, because I think if 4 months of not being active, you lose your downline. And then after a year of not being active, you lose your like enrollment status. Then yes, you have to wait the 6 months. You can rejoin. None of your recruits come back. Those have, you know, bumped up to the next, your upline, they all get shifted up. So none of your recruits get back. Your lifetime stays the same. And you, as long as you've hit certified, you will come as a certified consultant. So you won't, I mean, if you're essential, when you fall off, you're going to come back as essential. But like, so if I fell off as a director, I would come back and be a certified consultant. So at least then they're still making that 25%, but then they have to obviously rebuild their team to kind of get back to where they were.
Yeah. I don't know when he originally signed up or what, but he offered like some of his testers to me, but we've been kind of talking. And he said when he originally signed up, he felt really pressured that he had to post all the time, and that kind of turned him off of it. And then he's been seeing me where I hardly ever post, but then I post I like post a little bit, and he's like, well, maybe it's not as hard as I was thinking. So he might re-sign up. He's going to do a show for me in January after the holidays.
Nice.
And I think we'll touch base then.
We'll see it there.
Yeah.
Right? Why not? Why not? You know, and I mean, yes, do I preach consistency a lot? Like, yes. Do you need to post about it for people to know you have it? Do you need to post every hour on the hour? Absolutely not. Like, that's the thing is, like, some people are going to post more than others, you know, and
I'm up at 5 a.m. in the morning and I don't post right away. Post if I have time after the kids go to bed. Or, well, if there's a sale, I'll try to stay consistent with it, or when there's new drops, but I don't post every single day. Occasionally when I'm using my products, I use them every day, but I don't always take videos.
Yeah, and especially if you're cleaning, like that's the last thing you think of is like, oh God, I need to take a video.
Kids aren't here.
Every time I'm done cleaning, I'm like, damn, I should have taken a video.
Like me today with the bathroom cleaner. Yeah, that was, I was like, crap, I was going to do this.
Sometimes in my stories, if I actually remember, I'll do like a time lapse. I'll just prop it up, really just time lapse clean. I'm like, whatever. But then I got to remember time lapse is so fast. So then if I'm showing a product, I got to like hold it here for like 2 minutes so you can actually read and see what it is in the time lapse. Because the first time I did it, I'm like, and it looked like, oh my goodness. I was like, I need to slow that down. Like, burp. But yeah. So, but yeah, no, I mean, and that's the thing is, you know, you might get more customers, you might get more sales, you might get more, you know, from posting. You might turn some people off. Like, I'm sure I don't like keep a spreadsheet of who all my friends on Facebook are, but I'm sure from my posting, I've probably lost a friend here and there over since I've started.
Irritated some people so they unfollow you.
Because I didn't even know you're gone. So it's really not that big of a deal. But then also I have people that I have never spoke to in my life on my Facebook, and that have, you know, friends have invited them because, you know, of Scentsy, or they found me and just added me, and then sometimes I never hear from them, and then all of a sudden comment somewhere out of the woodwork from something I posted because it caught their eye, you know. So yeah, no, I would never pressure anybody to not post. Or I would never pressure anybody to like post, you know, like I definitely always preach, do this around your schedule, do what makes you comfortable. If it doesn't make you comfortable, you know, don't do it. But get a little uncomfy sometimes, because otherwise you're never going to grow, you know. But I'm not telling you to like just jump into a pool blindfolded. Like,
I tried to start using my old Facebook that I had before my divorce, and I occasionally would just drop 1 or 2 things that I still Scentsy in there. I had 1 or 2 likes, but I'm like, I'm never really on there. But I think come January, I want to try to interact over there because I have more people from college, from high school, from other new moms that now have kids that I might be able to reach out to. Trying to balance 2 will be difficult, but I think that might be something to reach outside of my box to find some.
Right. And that's the thing, that you didn't start off doing that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what's going to be like, Jelena, look at you. Like, you post more than you did in the beginning, you know, and you were still doing good in the beginning. Obviously, you've noticed a change with posting and you've gotten more interaction and stuff like that, but you've eased your way into what works for you, what makes you comfortable. And that's definitely something, you know, I would touch base with him when it's time. And let them know, like, you know, I'm gonna guide you the whole way. You know, we've got an amazing team that'll help you out as you need it. Obviously, you know, let them know consistency, and that doesn't mean daily, but consistency, it just definitely helps, but it's what works for you. So if you just want to post when new things are coming out, go for it. If you just want to post when new things that intrigue you are coming out, go for it. But then once all of a sudden, you know, a post is going to hit and like you're going to have a few comments and you're like, oh, wow. And then something in you clicks and you just kind of start doing more and more and more and build your way into that.
I'm guilty about the only posting when certain things intrigue you. Like I did the diffuser. I started a little bit on that and then I just kind of like dropped off. And then there's not the bricks, the scent of the season wax kit. I couldn't. I could not. I got sick from all of them. So I had the one that I brought to show people to the vendor fair. But after that, I'm like, it's in a cubby, like way back there, and I won't even go near it. So I don't advertise it.
See, but the thing is, like,
I think I liked half of them. Like, I think the cookies with Santa or whatever was a little too much for me. I was like, oh.
It reminds me of butter and like cheesecake crust. Cracker, like butter and graham cracker, which is really funny because I told my mom said something after smelling like vanilla bean buttercream when I first signed up. She's like, you need to make a scent that smells like when you melt butter and make the, you know, the shell. So then that one came out. I'm like, oh my God, Mom, like this is disgusting for me because I don't like bakery. I was like, but this is the scent you want. She smelled it and she goes, that doesn't smell like that. I'm like, it does, but it does. So, oh my goodness.
I feel bad not posting that stuff because there could be others that like that stuff. But at the same time, like I asked you before, how the heck can I do that when I don't like it? I mean, yeah, I can post a picture here and there, but people are going to ask me.
You know what, my customers, you guys will see it sometimes when bakery stuff comes up. My customers know I cannot stand bakery. What's the last bakery one that I think just came out? And I was actually okay with it. I shouldn't say last. The acorn and oats from the fall section.
I was not too strong.
I actually don't mind that.
I was okay with that one. I actually, yeah.
It was mellow. It was mellow. And I actually like that one. But a lot of times, like bakery will come out, especially like with the Bring Back My Bars and stuff like that. They were coming out, and I'd be like, "This is not for me, guys. But this is what it smells like." And I've had people like, "You're crazy. That doesn't smell good to you. That sounds delicious. Give me a 6-pack." All right, here you go. You know, so just breaking down what things are, even if you don't like them, but breaking down what it reminds you of, what it smells like. You know, I mean, don't be like, it smells like dog poop. Well, that's not going to sell. If you're like, it smells like how I just did, butter and graham crackers, you know, this is too much for me. But they're like, oh my God, butter and graham crackers. I need that. You know, so there's still a way to be honest and say you don't like something, but still have a way to kind of promote it.
I could figure something out with the Bring Back My Bar, because that was my huge breaker when I joined, was the previous Bring Back My Bar. So I know, like, I'm already going for that banana bread. Like, everyone's been talking about that one. So I want to.
Banana bread is amazing. That is the scent actually that started it all. If you guys don't know, there is a story, and you can probably find it on YouTube. Heidi and Orville. So Orville, he was looking for something to kind of, I don't know if he was like door-to-door salesman. I don't remember exactly the detail, whatever he was doing, but he was an entrepreneur and he was looking for something to create a business like this with Heidi and, or to found a business like this. So he found this I don't know if it was a lady that just made them or a small company or whatever. And he's like, I've never seen these before. These wax melts, they're amazing. You know, look at this warmer. And he brought home a warmer and he brought home banana nut bread. And he gave it to Heidi. And he's like, this is our breakthrough. This is our opportunity. Like they were filing bankruptcy. Like they were at the low pits when they founded this company. And he knew as soon as he saw one and checked it out that it was amazing. So anyway, long story short, fast forward, he's off doing something and Heidi decides to plug it in and warm the banana nut bread. And he comes home and he thought she was actually baking banana nut bread. And from there on out, like it was a wrap for them. And they did, you guys know, like the whole shipping container, they went out and they, even though they were facing bankruptcy, they went out and they got the shipping container and they started everything. Orville, the original waxes were made in a crock pot and they were hand poured, physical, like super hand poured, like they're still hand poured, but not to the extreme it is now. Like now they have like machines that they kind of, you know, still hand pour things, but this I'm talking like they just little cup here, hand pour, and they were just blocks that you had to cut up to put into your wax melt, and they just saran wrapped them.
I'm just hoping for better consistency with the Bring Back My Bars coming and being able to.
I know I'm excited that banana nut bread is back because I've smelled it before. It was in a previous, my first actually Bring Back My Bar. It was a winner, and I loved it. And at that time, I was so partial still on like joining Scentsy Club, and I'm like, I'm fine. And then I let it go, and now I have, like I said, 2 clubs, and I'm like, all right, that's it. It's going in there.
I lost my Bonfire Beach. I have 2 pots left and 1 wax. I'm crying. I'm like, don't touch it.
Bonfire Beach is a good one too. I know Club is dangerous. Club is amazingly dangerous. Like it really is. But all right, I do have to run. I'm a little bit over my time. I'm probably not gonna watch an episode tonight, but that's okay. So I am going to, like I said, I will upload this somehow or another, probably on my YouTube, and then share it. So you guys can come back if you guys want to, you know, re-listen to anything. People that aren't on can watch it for the first time, what have you. And I just gotta always remember to record on Tuesdays. I'm so glad I remembered.
Can you drop a link for your YouTube onto the Tribe page?
Yeah,
videos.
You can also find her by just typing her name in the search bar. That's what I did.
Okay. I just suck at YouTube. I try to keep my kids off it. They drive me insane with it.
I used to, I haven't done it in over a year, except for when I did the unboxing for the Christmas with Disney warmer, because I had to.
Last time I used YouTube, I was downloading songs, transferring them to MP3s to download them into a flash drive or a USB drive to take to school.
No, for real.
Daisy, I will drop it in there. What I'm going to do is I will actually drop those training videos. I'll drop that playlist in there so I can kind of write a little excerpt about it, you know, that we talked about it, whatever. And then you can find some other videos in there, but really the rest of them are kind of like unboxing videos. You'll see my weird Scentsy Claus thing. I think like my starter kit unboxing, couple of things.
My daughter's mad at me. We wrote a whole, like 12.
I think there actually is some other training. I think
for Scentsy and a Christmas song, and we haven't sung it, so she's mad. I mean, like it's like a list long of just different things we came up with. She's like, "Why are we gonna do it?" I'm like, "I don't know."
I love it.
I can't pull this up. Like I cannot. The hippopotamus was as far as I got.
That was so cute, though. That was so cute. Like it made me wish I had a hippopotamus in my my mystery boxes. I was like, damn, why didn't I get the hippopotamus? That's so good. Like you had the doll and everything, and I was like, yes, that was perfect. I loved it. I loved it. All right, so I will definitely share that. And then I will upload this as well. And I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful week if I don't talk to you before then.